in life, you will get criticized. Now, you would have seen that in your own life. You get criticized all the time for different things. So you are, in that way, you get challenged by people around you. They criticize you, okay? And it's the level of criticism that you are prepared to accept that will dictate how high you go up the rungs of life. Now, why the hell is that the case? Well, as you develop more and you grow as an individual and you find your sphere of influence increasing in the world, you will attract more people who criticize you because you just are more known. So with more, I was going to say notoriety, but I suppose it is notoriety in a kind of way because you're talking about criticism. So with that comes a level of people who don't like you. And I guess that's what it really comes down to. They don't like you. You get people that really like you and people that really don't like you. And you get it in kind of an equal measure. So, how the hell does that fit in and how the hell does that work? Well, let me show you this. So on Amazon, I think most of the game on Amazon is a mental game. And it's particularly when you first get started, it's a mental game. And the criticism when you're getting started, when you're contemplating doing it, before you actually take the plunge, the criticism tends to come from within yourself. You criticize yourself, okay? That's what tends to happening. You're not, or I'm not good enough. I'll never make it work. There's people in China who are going to destroy my business. All these kind of things that are negative, that you're saying negative to yourself, okay? Now, as soon as you push past that and you go to the next level where you say, you know what, screw it, I'm going to do it anyway. As soon as you do that, the criticism from inside dissipates. It kind of quietens down because then what you attract is criticism from outside. That's your next level. And it starts usually from within your family. That's the next level of criticism. Oh, you're going to start an Amazon business? What? Are you for freaking real? That's a shot in the dark. You haven't got a chance. You'll never make it work. What about all those people from China? They'll decimate your business. All that kind of thing, okay? So that's your family level of criticism. Now, if you can transcend that, you tend to get friends criticizing you. Friends criticizing you. Don't do that. Oh, you don't want to go with that Neil-Asher character. That's going to be a complete disaster. He'll take your money and run off to Portugal and all those other crazy things. And you'll get that happening at that level, okay? So that's your friends. Now, as soon as you transcend that, well, you get criticism from your broader, usually like your town that you live in. Oh, look at that wanker driving that Porsche. Who the hell does he think he is? What a complete asshole. It's that level of things, okay? And on and on and on. So you go town, you go city, you go state, or you get people in New South Wales criticizing you, you get all of Australia criticizing you, and on and on and on. But what you'll find is this: as you rise through those levels of criticism, your income rises too, and your sphere of influence on the world is also commensurately rising. Now, here's a question for you. Who, right now, is the person in the Western world who is the most criticized right now in the Western world? Who's the person who's most criticized in the Western world? All right, who do you reckon that guy is? That's right, Donnie, little Donnie Trump, little Donnie Trump-a-bubble. He is the most criticized in the world. Now, ask yourself this: who is the most powerful man currently in the Western world? Who's that guy? Same guy. Same guy. Now, there is no coincidence that those two things are intricately linked. There is no coincidence that those two things are intricately linked, okay? The level of criticism you are able to take and transcend, like it doesn't matter, it kind of washes off you, That dictates the level you get to play in the game of life, actually. So consider that for a second. Now, here's some other things to think about. Now, I, as a rule of thumb, will post... Am I sharing my screen? I should be sharing my screen, yeah. Will post on my Facebook page the criticism, the critique that I get. Now, why the hell do I do that? Well, first of all, because it's funny. I find it freaking hilarious. I love trolling my trolls. I think it's really, really good fun. And so I want to show you that and make light of it, because I want you to see that that never ends. That never ever ends. It's just an ongoing game where you have to transcend to the next level to own the game at that level. You're just going to get it, but at higher and higher and higher. So I get criticized from right across Australia. Well, people all across Australia. I get folks like this. I also get things like this. Can you give us more good ideas and make it better? I just think she looks like a liar. I get it all the time. All right, I show you guys some of it, but believe me when I tell you, every day I get that shit going on. I'm also getting things like, let's have a look. So I don't know if you guys have seen this. Let me give you the link. So I get people who build websites in my honor. Send to all. There you go. You go and have a look at that. So I've got somebody who's built a website in my honor saying Aussie Online Entrepreneurs is a complete freaking rip-off. And I'm sure he feels justified, Mike feels justified in doing that. All right, look at this. Neil is under-endowed in the underwear department. Neil with his tiny little penis. And I just think it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious. Now, if you spend any time reading this shit, you'll quickly see, as far as I'm concerned, he hasn't got grounds for his things. Because for me, if anybody's ever not happy, I just refund them. That's like my gig. You're not happy? No worries. Here's your money back. All good. Which again is a psychology thing. But I want to show you it does not change. You don't ever get to escape it. Now, here's an important thing I've learned. If you are currently beating yourself up, criticizing yourself, it's because you're not going for it. It's because you're not going for it. The very, very second you go for it, you transcend your inner criticism and it goes to outer criticism. And for me, I would personally rather have outside criticism than inside criticism, because I'm 24/7. I don't get to escape me. I'm always freaking there. So I'd much rather have the critique on the outside. I think that's a better game to play, okay? So, as I said, look, I ain't no expert on this. I am not some genius like Dr. DeMartini. That's not what I'm great at, but I can only tell you what's happened in my life. The more criticism I am prepared to accept for doing the things that I love to do, the higher up the ladder I've transcended and the greater sphere of influence I've had as a result of that. So just something to think about. Now, how does that apply to Amazon? As I said, Amazon is a mind game to begin with. You've got to get yourself started. As soon as you do get started, you'll start getting criticized from outside places, customers leaving you bad reviews. Should you take it to heart? Well, that's entirely up to you. But if you do take it to heart and you do let it hurt your feelings, there's a good chance you will self-sabotage your business. And I've seen that time and time again. Self-sabotage your business because you haven't transcended that level of criticism yet. So if you are getting criticized, it's all good. That's the game. That's what you should expect to happen. That's what you should expect to happen. Now, the original quote, I've been asked for that a number of times. So here it is again. And I'm paraphrasing it. It's a Dr. DeMartini quote. But it's this: you can only rise in life to the level of criticism that you are prepared to accept. Now, really, I think in hindsight, it ought to be something like that you have transcended. E.g., you understand it and it doesn't bother you. You've transcended that level of criticism. If your family's critiquing you, and you don't mind. You've transcended that, and you're now ready for your friends to criticize you. If you've transcended that, you're now ready for the people in your town to criticize you. Once you transcend that, people in your city, people in your state, people in your country to criticize you, and on and on and on. So it's just a game. It's just a game. I hope that's useful. I've got no idea if it is, but certainly it was an interesting thing. It's a complete blast from the past as well, with John getting in touch. So take that what you will. That's my understanding of the game of life, Hey, thanks so much for watching that video, and I hope that you got some massive value from it. Before you go, do you live in Australia? If you do, this is for you. Would you like to learn how to sell things on Amazon here in Australia? Would you like to know what sells really, really well and what sells for the maximum amount of profit? Would you like to know where you can source those products from, whether that be in China or here in Australia, and how to source them so you pay bottom dollar and get maximum value for what you're doing? If you do, please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and you'll learn that and much more. It's the exact same information that people like Jeff from New South Wales I've used to make $45,000 a month on Amazon, that Sue, who's from the sunny coast, has used to purchase herself a brand spankly BMW every single year as a result of her e-commerce business, and the lovely Kate from Bowral in New South Wales has used to make $32,000 a year on a month, not a year, a month on Amazon, and indeed Anthony, who makes $15,000 a month on Amazon, selling, as he puts it, odds and sods. If you'd like to learn the exact same information that they use to maximize their profits for their Amazon businesses, subscribe to this video, like my channel, post below if you want me to teach you something. Okay, I'm out of here. Speak to you soon. Bye. Subscribe. Do it now.